Hey y'all, Gloria here. I'm talking about two books tonight. The first one is That's Not How You Do It, and the second one is The Sandwich Swap. And both of these are going to address a question of who gets to decide what is normal. And so I think as we know from the readings, like there's a lot of power in what is defined as quote unquote normal. It's not a neutral term, and I think just diving into to this book, That's Not How We Do It. Lucy here is a high status character. She knows all the things about all the things, and people come to her for help, and she's just, her way has become kind of the gold standard. And then there's another character, Tashi, who comes from a far off place and does things really differently, and Lucy is just saying, like, hey, that's not how you do that. And really is then kind of offering Tashi kind of this correction, and it's really asserting kind of power and control and saying my way is the right way and your way is wrong, and if there's a difference, that means that there's a mistake. And similarly in the sandwich swap, there's two friends, Lily and Selma, and they both eat sandwiches and they have some private judgments about each other's sandwiches. Those judgments then eventually get kind of verbalized, and what's happening here is there's an insult to the food, but there's kind of a deeper meaning, a deeper connection, and it's not just the sandwich. It's like it actually is a connection to their family, to their identity, to their sense of belonging. And so I think it's like again, not an insult to a food, but an insult to the person. And I think in both of these stories, it's interesting because like conflict can really grow when like one person's version of what is quote unquote normal becomes kind of the only acceptable way that something can be done. And adaptation can happen as repair. And that's when, characters here can kind of make space for the differences that they experience, and then those differences can kind of bring them closer together. And for instance, like in the sandwich shop, what ends up happening in the moment to kind of initiate that repair is that the friends try each other's sandwiches and they kind of like them, and then the judgment that they have kind of dissipates and becomes a shared experience and leans into curiosity, and then there's also an interesting repair moment in this book where there's a teaching moment where, Lucy wants to learn from the other character, Tashi. Tashi wants to learn from Lucy, and they're kind of sharing now knowledge back and forth. And remember that Lucy kind of saw knowledge as a form of power, and now this power is more mutual. And again, in kind of both books, it's kind of just reflecting that repair can happen when characters stop trying to police the differences and kind of see them as an opportunity to kind of learn. And so on the surface, like conflict is happening, with sandwiches and paper and just like different activities and what is quote unquote the right way to do it. But there's a deeper meaning in both of these stories about what the conflict actually is. It's about identity and status and belonging. And really respect too. So I think the kind of takeaway here is that if we slow down our assumptions and we stay curious, then like repair can actually happen across our differences. So it was a really cute assignment. I enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.